Since Donald Trump was first elected president, scholars have warned that American democracy is under grave threat. This threat has often been defined as a constitutional crisis, where one branch of government defies or usurps the powers of another. Recent actions by the Trump administration have intensified these concerns. Firing government employees with civil service protections, attempting to end birthright citizenship, and postponing laws passed by Congress are just a few examples. A federal judge in Rhode Island recently ruled that Trump is refusing to comply with an order to release federal grant money. The administration's response has been to file an appeal and attack the judiciary. Vice President J.D. Vance's statement that judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power adds fuel to the fire. If the administration openly refuses to comply with federal court rulings, it would almost certainly qualify as a major crisis. I spoke with Christina Rodriguez, a Yale Law School professor, about why this moment is so dangerous. We discussed whether courts have any power to enforce their orders and why Congress has chosen not to exercise its constitutional powers. Historically, presidents have shown disrespect for the Supreme Court, but rarely outright defiance. Abraham Lincoln's administration issued passports to black people despite the Dred Scott decision. Andrew Jackson refused to enforce a court order against the state of Georgia, showing disrespect for the court. Lincoln resisted a judge's determination that he had unconstitutionally suspended the writ of habeas corpus during the Civil War. In the modern era, there are no clear examples of outright defiance of court orders by presidents. Most resistance takes the form of slow-walking implementation or pushing the law in the executive's preferred direction. Courts have limited remedies against an executive willing to defy their orders. They can threaten to hold officials in contempt, but this is rarely used. High-level officials declaring their intention to defy court orders would be a significant step toward autocracy. The freezing of federal funds by the Trump administration is particularly concerning. It suggests the president believes he is not bound by Congress's decisions to appropriate money. This position effectively turns Congress into an advisory body, undermining the Constitution. Congress has tended to be the least important branch in recent history. If Congress were willing to defend its prerogative, it could engage in oversight and enact laws to counter the executive's actions. Public opposition and court orders can blunt some of the executive's illegal actions. But if Congress won't stand up for itself, the system of checks and balances fails. The courts can only do so much. Congress must act to constrain executive power. The Supreme Court's role in clarifying the limits of executive power is crucial. Some actions by the Trump administration are so sweeping that court intervention is necessary. The Supreme Court's decisions could significantly impact the balance of power between branches. If the court validates the administration's constitutional vision, it would fundamentally change the Constitution. The stakes are high, and the future of American democracy hangs in the balance.